My gold digger mother-in-law called me cheap and stingy because of the ring I bought her daughter. She took it back quick once I canceled the wedding. I recently proposed to my girlfriend in the most romantic way I could think of. We had been dating for 3 years, and I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. She is perfect, literally an angel in every sense. But there has always been a thorn in our relationship. The first time I met her parents, her mother said, "I thought you said he was well off. But that car is a piece of trash." Now I do have other cars, but that day I decided to pick a comfortable model because I was going on a trip later. That being said, I didn't give her any attention and just tried to impress them in other ways. The entire time she kept commenting about how my looks weren't my strong point, and it really rubbed me off the wrong way. When we left, my girlfriend apologized to me, but I know that her mother's actions aren't her fault and didn't blame her, though I wish that was the last time. Whenever I would visit them, my future mother-in-law would always end up mentioning my money and how that was the only reason my girlfriend was even dating me. There were several arguments over this, and one time I even told her I can burn all my money right now, and she still wouldn't leave me because we love each other. To my surprise, she became really docile after that and stopped commenting about me. I hope that she had realized I loved her daughter and was trying to be the best man for her sake. Anyway, I decided to propose to my girlfriend last month and took her to Switzerland for a romantic getaway. I made sure we had a moment where we were watching the sunset alone and got on one knee. She had told me early on in the relationship about what kind of ring she would want, and I had gotten her exactly that. She said yes, and my heart literally jumped around in my chest with excitement. We spent the rest of the trip in our hotel room just talking about our future and how much we wanted to marry each other. When we got home, she said she wanted to show her ring to her parents and friends, so I dropped her off at her mother's house. I was looking forward to planning the wedding and then watching her walk down the aisle towards me. But out of nowhere, my mother-in-law made a post on Facebook saying some really horrible stuff about me. She said that the ring I had bought for her daughter was worth less than her clothes and that the diamond looked like a small stone that I picked up from the street. Then she began going on a rant saying that I am a cheap man who never does anything nice for his girl even though he's got plenty of money. That wasn't even close to the truth, and I wanted to argue. But then I kept on reading. She started explaining how I'd never bought a car for my girl or her parents, which was apparently something that I'm supposed to do. Also, remember that we hadn't even made our engagement public yet, so this was the first time everyone was hearing about this. They most likely believed what she was saying and supported her in the comments. She also called me stingy and said that I should immediately buy a bigger ring for my now fiancé or she won't allow the marriage to happen. The first thing I wanted to do was tell her that it's not up to her to decide if the marriage is happening or not, but although I was angry, I decided to not take any rash decisions and just call my girlfriend to talk about it. I asked her if she had seen the post and saw what horrible things her mother was saying about me. To my absolute surprise, my girlfriend said, "I mean, she's not wrong. The ring is pretty small after all." I was appalled and said I thought that's what she wanted, but she told me that it was just a joke and she would have preferred if I gotten a bigger diamond out of my own volition. In her opinion, she was hoping that I would buy her the most expensive ring I could afford, but now she couldn't even brag properly to her friends. At that point, I just had to cut the call because my head was boiling over. I don't know why my girlfriend was letting her mother manipulate her like this because that was something she wouldn't normally say. After I reached home, I sat down on the couch and had to hold back my tears. I genuinely thought that she loved me, but now I was no longer sure that I could marry her because I realized that if I did, I would have to deal with her mother berating me for my entire life. I was afraid that if I confronted them, I would end up saying something I regret. So I just made a Facebook post. I said that regardless of my mother-in-law's comments, proposing to my girlfriend was a mistake and that I can't go through with a wedding anymore. I got bombarded with phones from my mother-in-law and my fiancé, and at first I wasn't going to pick up, but I realized that ignoring them wasn't a mature way to act, so I decided to man up and talk about the issue. When I picked up the phone, I could hear my fiancé crying in the background. My mother-in-law immediately began apologizing and said that she didn't mean what she said, but I pointed out how she had made those comments previously as well, and that she was never actually interested in me beyond my money. It was then that she also broke into tears and began begging me to not break up with her daughter, that her daughter deserves the luxurious lifestyle I could provide her with, and I shouldn't take that away from her. However, my mind was made up and there was nothing I could do anymore. I only proposed to her in the first place because I thought she loved me for who I was, not for my money. So I told them, "You're right, your daughter does deserve all that, but I also deserve someone who cares for me and won't insult me over everything. So I hope she can find someone else because I am done."